Lights, camera, action. Today on the Sausage Tray, we talk about movies. But first, we're gonna... you don't like my funny intros?
No, I'm digging it, man. It just took me by surprise.
Keep going.
All right.
Stunned by it.
So today, we're gonna talk about movies. But first, let's get into some housekeeping. So I'm gonna throw it to you, Justin.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. I'm still stunned by your announcer voice and all that good shit.
Oh yeah, I'm Josh. This is Justin, and that's Eric.
I was gonna do intros since Josh forgot, but all right, here we are.
You can do them too if you want.
All right, yeah. So my name is Justin. This is Josh and Eric. Welcome to the Sausage Tray. We go up every other Friday on youtube.com/roommatesgaming, and we alternate with Hard at Play, which is our video game focused podcast that also goes up on Fridays. Again, find us over on YouTube. We do put these up on our Facebook page, but you can also check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and on twitch.tv/roommatesgaming. But please look below this video for the link to our Discord. Join that group and get in there and talk with us. We got a couple of channels going, and we're actually talking about some fun things we're going to be doing in the Discord today and moving forward. If you'd rather listen to us, that's perfectly fine, because I know I look funny. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, pretty much all podcast platforms. Links below for that as well. And we do publish these out to our social media accounts so you can see all that fun stuff. A couple more things before we get started. You probably saw our gameplay video of Crawl, which was one of the most fun experiences that I have had as an adult. It went up this past Monday, had a blast, and got my ass handed to me. We all did, though, so it's okay.
I mean, true.
The game's hard to win.
It is very hard to win when you have good friends. And then next
It checks out.
Yeah, it checks out. Next Monday, you'll see me and Cameron continue to destroy things and charge people money for it as we do Property Dads 2. It's a blast, and I'm looking forward to actually, hopefully, playing some more of that in the future too.
Yeah, I would definitely like to continue that as a series.
That shit is dope, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
We're gonna eventually just boil down into just like 5 games that we just continually play.
Yeah.
It's gonna stop being variety. It's just gonna be Gang Beasts,
House
game,
Flipper.
House Flipper,
Yeah.
Crawl.
That's just Property Dads now. It's not House Flipper anymore.
It's Property Dads.
We're gonna have a couple of niche things that we just keep redoing.
Yep.
And I want to get back to Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time.
Oh, yeah, that's the other one, yep.
because that was fun. But yeah, you can check all that stuff out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/roommatesgaming. There's a long backlog of stuff for you to check out over there. We're really happy about it. We're excited about the things we have coming, and we appreciate you guys joining us for it. Again, please jump into the Discord to give us some thoughts on what we should play, what we should talk about for these podcasts. Let us know what you guys would like to hear us kick around as far as a topic, because we love that kind of interaction, and we're pretty active talking to people in there almost daily anyway. So, with all that being said, I'm going to throw it back over to Josh for his movie announcer. All right, Mr. Movie Phone, what do you got?
Today, playing the theater near you.
There is now one man who works for Movie Phone. They have one corporate employee, and I was amazed to find out that they had a single employee and not 0.
I was about to say, they still exist?
Shut down forever ago.
Really?
Yeah.
How the fuck is Movie Phone still a thing? What?
And AOL still owns it, so Time Warner still owns it, and they're paying one dude to just sit there and answer the fucking phone, do Movie Phone.
What the? That is so weird.
Yep.
You had old people.
Old people.
I swear to
Yep.
God,
I
old people.
almost want to call it now.
Just call them up. Yeah, what's up, Movie Phone? Oh God, today you're gonna find out.
All right, keep talking.
While
Keep talking, nobody dies.
While Justin looks up the Movie Phone, man, I'm gonna say an announcement. No,
I'm gonna say an announcement.
I'm going to announce an announcement of announcing things.
Oh, by the way, I did forget to say in our intro, this is our show that never stays on the rails. It falls apart quickly, and here we are 5 minutes in.
At this point, we don't even put it on the rails. We just kind of put it rail adjacent and turn it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
No, this is one of those toy ones, and
like
we
a
just
toy train.
turn the
Max speed.
all the way
We've
up.
built this really elaborate train set, and we just put the strongest train we have and just max speed.
But the train isn't even for that train set. It's
Nope.
The train looked cooler in a different box.
Yep. It's a bullet train from a completely different set.
This is like an old and steam powered train track. So it's just fucking flies off and careens into the side of the wall and just jettisons in it.
Keep going. I'm still looking at movie phone.
But speaking of movies, we are announcing a movie club for our Discord and for the Sausage Tray specifically. We are going to have a suggestion of a movie each week or each other week for the Sausage Tray. And we're going to watch it. And then we want you to watch it in our Discord. We want you to, give us your thoughts, how you like the movie. Give us like a small review. We'll give us a small review, just like it's a book club, but with movies instead. And every beginning of the Sausage Tray, after we get through our normal bullshit, we'll do our movie club and just discuss the movie that we suggested. We'll take turns. We'll even take Discord suggestions as well. So we want to have that interaction with our audience and the people in our Discord. So that's another reason you should hop onto that Discord. We'll also throw it out on like Twitter and stuff like that to get other people who may not follow us on other stuff that they may not get into our Discord. So that way we can have build up a little movie club community, because we all love movies here, just like we love games. But yeah, we're gonna start a movie club, and Eric is the first suggestion this week, and then it'll go Justin, then myself, and then it'll go on a rotation. And so Eric, what is your movie that you're suggesting for everyone to watch?
So my movie is from 1995. It's called 12 Monkeys. You may have seen a TV show of a very similar name. There's a good reason for that. It's the same story. Just the TV show is definitely, different, as most TV shows are, different, and also has a lot more time to go into detail about stuff. But 12 Monkeys is a science fiction time travel kind of like post-apocalyptic conspiracy thing. Yeah. It's hard to describe, honestly.
They're like dystopian, kind of like time travel.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Bruce Willis starring, whatever. But yeah, it's like old-fashioned time travel where it takes some really giant convoluted machine. It almost got like steampunk aspects because there's this giant fucking machine that they have, or at least in the TV show. I can't remember if they actually show the machine in the movie. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the movie.
It's been a while since we watched the movie, so it'll be good to.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
You haven't?
Yeah, but just to avoid any
I think it's like a pretty good cult classic.
Just to avoid
Brad Pitt in it.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, Madeline Stowe. I don't know if anyone knows who that is, but. But to avoid rambling about it and accidentally talking about spoilers and whatnot, I'm just gonna be super basic here and read the synopsis. The little synopsis thing that they would do like when you're like trying to look for something on Netflix. Traveling back in time isn't simple, as James Cole, Bruce Willis, learns the hard way. Imprisoned in the 2030s, James is recruited for a mission that will send him back to the 1990s. Once there, he's supposed to gather information about I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. Once there, he's supposed to gather information about a nascent plague that's about to exterminate the vast majority of the world's population. But aside from the manic Jeffrey, Brad Pitt,
oh shit,
he gets little in the way of cooperation.
He's trying to save us from coronavirus.
Oh shit, not least from medical gatekeepers like Dr. Catherine Rayleigh, Madeline Stowe. But yeah, it's essentially post-apocalyptic. There's a virus. Got to travel back in time to find a cure for the virus or stop it from spreading altogether. It's a real good movie.
There are ducks.
There's something outside.
Those are
a monster.
Demon ducks.
The monkeys are here.
Yeah. Oh shit. The 12 monkeys are here.
All right.
But yeah, it's real good. I would also recommend watching the TV show too. The TV show is actually what me and Josh started watching the TV show because we like watching shit. And then Josh discovered that there was a movie before there was a TV show. And then we watched that. And the movie is honestly, for me, just as good as the TV show, even though the TV show goes into more detail.
I'm going to check this out. I'm looking forward to it now.
I'm a big time travel guy, so if you put time travel in your story, I'm probably gonna like it.
Time traveler's wife. Yeah, I've seen like an episode of the show in passing. I didn't like lock into it.
The first season is kind of weird, but once if it's like up your alley, at least for the TV show, if you get a few episodes in and you still want to watch it, it just keeps taking more and more and more from you.
All right, I'm looking forward to this.
And I believe you can watch it on Netflix if you are wondering where you can find
I'm pretty
it.
sure. Yeah, I was attempting to look it up to see where it was, if it was still on Netflix still.
I actually just tried to look that up and I didn't see it.
I was looking it up too, and
Yeah, like I saw that you can like watch it on YouTube and all that.
Yeah, I saw
stuff,
YouTube.
like $3.99,
but there was like I know this is
Prime and all the other
YouTube,
Well, there's
Google Play Movies, Amazon
I was
Prime.
gonna say right here, it shows up like on like the Netflix at like thing, but I'm not logged into Netflix on my phone,
Yeah.
so
Gotcha.
I don't know if it would actually start playing the movie or not, or if it'd be like, actually, this movie's not on anymore.
But yeah, if you can find it, we saw it on Netflix.
You can tell how prepared we are for
yes.
these things.
We just pulled this up.
We talked about this earlier, but we just pulled all of this.
18 minutes.
All of this is straight just right now. It's coming up.
All right, that's cool. Like Josh was saying, if you watch the movie, as you fucking should, then a week from tomorrow, so next Saturday, any thoughts you have, anything you want to address about the movie, throw it in the Discord on the channel that we're going to put up for the movie club.
We should all watch it too, just to be fresh on it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
totally going to watch it because I've never
obviously
seen
we're
it. Yeah. Throw your thoughts in that channel, in the movie club channel that we're going to put up on Discord. And if you have something to say, maybe we'll read it on the show. Pull that in as part of the discussion because we do want you guys to actually be part of this. We want it to be interactive and fun.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if you want to talk about it in the comments section, go ahead. Feel free to do that there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wherever you can find us,
We would like to interact with you more.
yep. Like if you have a movie that you want to throw out for us to watch, that's cool. We want to see that. Like Josh said, we want your suggestions. Throw us a title, the year it came out, and the elevator pitch for the movie. Like to get us, like just throw that in the Discord channel so we can all see it and be like, hey, that'd be one we think would be cool to do.
Yeah.
So
And also, if you like know where we can watch it,
yes, that'd be good.
let us know too. If it's not on any of the platforms, that's fine. We'll find a way to watch it. But if you do know where you can find it easily, then go ahead and shout that out. That's what I was trying to see where it was.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it says it's still on Netflix, but I can't actually get it. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
To make it easier for both parties. So if we tell you, hey, watch this movie, you'll be like, oh, well, I know I can go steal my cousin Greg's Netflix login right quick and watch this one day, and then
Thanks, Greg.
We all enjoy just kind of watching stuff and discussing about it, and we all think it'd be really cool if we did that with our Discord and the rest of the community.
Right.
Yeah.
We haven't discussed this yet, but I would like to throw it out. I think we should keep this tied to just movies for now. We're gonna have TV shows that come up that we're gonna want to talk
TV
about.
shows are much
Bigger.
That's a lot more.
Yeah, they take a lot more effort.
So for now, let's just do movies, and we'll more than likely how many episodes have we talked about the goddamn Witcher at this point? Like, so yeah, we'll
we
open
love
it
TV
up.
shows and movies. And
Yes, we do. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Same.
You guys saw some movies
Yep.
that
We had
you
a
wanted to talk about.
Double feature actually. We went,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went Eric and JT, another member of our channel.
The other roommate proper.
The other roommate proper. We all went to see Sonic and Birds of Prey over the weekend. We had a daily double feature. We literally saw a movie, had lunch, and then went back to the theater and watched a movie again. It was great. I haven't done one of those in a long time, and it was awesome. Like I said, because I fucking love movies. And I like the idea of cinema and stuff like that. I may not be like the most perverse and know every.
Yeah, I'm not like a media file or anything. But
I may not know like every ins and outs, but I love learning about the craft of filmmaking and movies in general. So watching movies back to back and stuff like that is something that actually like excites me.
Right.
I really enjoy a story. Like, it doesn't even have to be a good story. I just really enjoy a story.
Yeah.
So
I'm right there too. I like to be captured by a story. Again, it can be a bad story, but I like a story.
But yeah, and also like, just watching weird stuff sometimes too. Like I'll watch it, or I'll hear like it's one of these movies that like people will talk about, but like they're like, I don't know how I felt about this movie. I want to watch it just because of like, this seems interesting, and then I'll watch it and either go, oh yeah, no, I totally like, yeah, this director has great vision and stuff, but it was still a weird story. But
Lighthouse.
something like The Lighthouse, yeah. But we saw Sonic and Birds of Prey. We saw Sonic first, and then we saw Birds of Prey. And before we like give our review, it'll be spoiler free,
as spoiler free as we can manage,
because you haven't seen them, and we don't know who hasn't seen them. But it also at this point would have been like a week since the movies have come out, and
so there's like a soft spoiler warning here.
We'll try our best to be non-spoiler.
All right, so at this point in real life, it is 3 days. So give me a break.
There's a reason why I just read the synopsis of 12 Monkeys, because we'll start rambling and say stuff we don't intend on spoiling.
Yeah, I'm gonna try my best. I'm trying to think of what I would consider a spoiler for some of the movies. Obviously, any like. I mean, I guess moving on.
We definitely won't talk about any major plot points.
Yeah. Birds of Prey doesn't bother me at all. Now, I understand that it might bother some viewers. I don't know how heavily Birds of Prey taps on the DCU's direction or like how it fits into the rest of the DCU, because it doesn't. It's kind of standalone.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, when we talk about it, I definitely will bring some of that up, because it's in a
weird position.
Yeah, it does feel like a standalone, but they reference things that have already happened.
But the Sega cinematic universe, don't fuck with that.
I can't. I'm actually here for.
Yeah,
Sega.
I'm 100% here. For
like, it's not a spoiler, but they have an intro splash for Sega, and it starts off on the first Sonic, and then it gets out and it starts showing up a bunch of other Sega games. And I was like, I leaned over. I'm like, what is this? The Sega cinematic universe, and then I saw that like there was a Yakuza like thing. I'm like, I'm here for that Yakuza movie.
Dude, a Yakuza movie was so cool.
That'd be badass.
I was like, I'm here for a Yakuza movie if this is true. And then he's like, you're not here for. And then I saw it as he like was like, you're not here for it. And I saw him like, oh, I'm here for Jet Set Radio movie too.
Dude, a Yakuza series of movies would be so. It'd be like the new Fast and Furious, but it actually makes sense how it keeps ramping up, because it's not even supposed to be serious.
God, it would have to be campy and like oddly paced.
Oh yeah, dude, I would be here for a Yakuza series.
I would too.
But yeah, like seeing that, I was like, it'd be kind of cool if they did like a cinematic universe for Sega, or more, good, video game movies.
Yeah, good video game movies would be nice.
Yeah. Which is to say that,
because they're gonna keep making them. I just wish they'd make them good.
Yeah, which is to say, like, this is probably one of the better video game movies.
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah, like when we were done with it, we're like, I mean, well, me personally, I was like, well, it's really campy and weird in spots, but like, I mean, it still was pretty good. Like, better than, like, I know it was for kids, so obviously gonna be, campy and like childish in my eyes, but it still did a pretty decent job of like trying to bring in like elements of Sonic's lore from his games. Yeah. And
I actually heard someone talking about it, and they were confused why the rings were able to transport you places. And I was just like, warp rings have been a thing since the first game.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's
you got from world
the
to world.
reason why he collects them. It just confused me how you can. I mean, he could just not be a Sonic fan, just not be aware of the games and whatnot. But it just confused me. Like, how did you miss that detail? The warp rings have been a thing in every game, as far as I know.
But damn it. You
sorry,
destroyed my train of thought.
Rail adjacent.
What the fuck was I talking about before you went on to that?
How he...
But it's surprisingly a decent movie for being a video game movie. Like, Detective Pikachu was actually pretty dang good.
Probably the best one.
For being a, a video game movie, and there's not a lot of those that can say that. Like, I absolutely hate the Resident Evil series because they're trash, garbage action movies.
I don't even consider those video game movies. I consider them taking an idea that was originally in a video game and going, we can tell a story about that.
Yep.
The Doom movie, I think there have been 2 Doom movies. They have also not been very good
I'm pretty sure I've just erased those from my memory.
You didn't like the Dwayne Johnson Doom movie?
No.
Yeah, I'm fairly
it was bad.
I'm fairly certain.
Being a smart ass.
I'm fairly certain I just expunged those from my memory because until you said that Dwayne Johnson was in them, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
It was Dwayne Johnson and who's the guy from The Boys?
Which one?
The main, like Billy.
Say it, you want to?
Well, invisible cunt.
Billy Butcher.
Billy Butcher, yeah.
Oh my god.
He was the.
What is
I'm trying to rack it.
Damn it! He was in Star Trek.
I'm useless with names.
Star Trek.
He was fucking Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he was the main character in Doom, and there's like a whole first person sequence at the end of that movie. I do remember.
See, like
that.
as you're talking about this stuff, I remember it.
Yeah.
But it's basically what's happening is you're digging up those memories from wherever I buried them in my subconscious.
But yeah, like Sonic was pretty decent. It had its rough patches for me personally, but that's my opinion. Eric could feel completely different.
I mean, it definitely had its corny moments, but it's a Sonic story. I expect it to be corny as hell.
Yeah.
But if it's not corny, 90s kid me is going to be a little disappointed.
But I scrutinize things way more than I think Eric does.
Oh yeah.
Even if I find the thing good that I watched, I'll still be or played or read or whatever, I'll still go, yeah, but actually it was kind of ass, but it was still fun. I still enjoyed it. It's not like some people who are like, this was absolute shit. I wasted an hour of my time. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the best thing, but I still enjoyed the hour and 40 minutes that I watched the movie.
And
so
and I'm of the perspective if I enjoyed it to any degree, if I walked away feeling positive about it, I don't care if it had flaws.
Right.
I won't necessarily defend its flaws. There are some things that I will defend its flaws, but I still enjoyed it and see no reason to criticize.
But so Sonic in the movie, he ends up on Earth. We won't tell you how. But he ends up on Earth and kind of like lives his life on Earth, but he's, doesn't want to, he's afraid to, interact with people. And through circumstances, he's basically, I guess they never really say, I don't think they say how much time has passed since he's been on Earth.
They don't, but it's implied it's been a few years.
But he's probably like a teenager, like not young adult, but like,
I would say
like anywhere from like 12 to 14 kind of age range.
I would say about that range.
But, so he, does, floss twice, but
I was actually talking to a coworker like the day after we saw it when I went to work. I was talking to a coworker about it, and I told her, because she's roughly the same age as me, she's a little younger, but still would have grown up aware of the old Sonic cartoon. And I warned her, think of the way Sonic acts in this movie. Think of the way he acted in that old Sonic cartoon, which was made in the 90s.
But modernized.
If it was made today.
Yeah.
That's exactly how he acts. Yeah. So be prepared for that.
It's age pandering.
Yeah.
Which makes
basically
sense.
It's age pandering.
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but that's exactly what, because you have to find a way to familiarize with the current audience, not the 30-year-old dudes who are going to see this now.
Yeah.
So,
but it's neat because they still throw references to the original games, which is really nice.
They, I also like
but they just make his personality and like things he references more, modernized, even though he still like will reference, just like, Peter Parker and the Marvel Spider-Man universes, which it kind of annoys me sometimes that he won't know references, and then he will say something like about aliens, but he doesn't know about Star Wars. And I'm like, how the fuck have you? But it definitely, there's like a 40-year-old, 50-year-old men writing this child, which you can tell that Sonic was also written probably by like a 30 or 40-year-old man.
It's definitely a blind spot.
Where you're like, oh, okay. Obviously, they know what's hip and hap. The floss is something kids are all
Hello,
their
fellow.
kids are probably flossing all over their house. So I'll put in flossing, but also I really like this 80s era joke, so I'll talk about it too. But through weird circumstances, he does get not caught but found out, and Robotnik is sent to come after him to catch him and all of that. And
Jim Carrey as Eggman.
Is it good?
He's actually not bad. He's very eccentric, and like sometimes at weird points, like he ham-fistedly is written evil. But I mean,
but it's Eggman. I mean, he's the most ham-fisted villain ever.
Yeah.
But like obviously it's a video game. It's easier to like take that in.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like a movie, you could like make it a little less subtle. But I mean, I get it. It's for children. And I knew that while watching the movie. But I still can have that opinion that it feels a little ham-fisted evil. Like he's definitely like, if he doesn't actually twirl his mustache, but at any given point in time off screen, he is going, you think that I'm the evil man? I am. I work for the government, but I'm truly evil. Because one of the things that was ham-fisted,
that's the fourth fucking time, John.
What, ham-fisted?
Fifth.
The little container, or like base, his little operation base he overloads it with Sonic's quill that he finds, and all the power goes out. And he like opens up the breaker, and it literally says evil lab. And he hits the breaker to turn the power back on. I'm like, how does no one realize? Why is the government
No one's
working
looking
with
at his
this?
breaker box.
But like the way he acts, like the government would never work with someone who is like this clearly an evil person.
We're not gonna get into that.
Is it really that ham-fisted?
We're not gonna get into that.
But Jim Carrey's, he does a pretty good job of.
I think as obtuse as of a role that they made, I think Jim Carrey was the perfect actor to do that role.
Yeah, he does a really good job.
If they had gone for a more subtle evil like Josh would have liked, I don't think Jim Carrey would have been as good of a role.
Right.
I'm not saying they had to like subtle all the time, but like a ramp up.
Yeah.
He's like evil off the bat.
Yeah.
Like out of the gate, he's twisting his.
But it's campy and self-aware.
Yeah.
So
but that specific amount of like campy, self-aware bad guy is perfect for Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of a time where Jim Carrey's played a subtle, wild character like that I enjoyed.
The number 23.
Never seen it.
That was a good
Fucking hell.
I guess that's what the Justin's suggestion's gonna be.
Good God.
I've always wanted to watch it, but
Jim Carrey does good as not just his only role.
I know
isn't
he can.
Just being a
I
weirdo.
know he can. But if you're gonna go for a campy kids movie, and you want Jim Carrey to be that villain, I don't want him to be subtle. I want him to be ham-fisted as goddamn.
If you're making a kids movie and you're thinking,
I want him to be the Grinch 24/7.
Exactly. If you're making a kids movie, you're thinking, man, I want if Jim Carrey's in it, I want Ace Ventura, I want the Grinch, I want fucking Dumb and Dumber. I don't, you don't want. On that topic, you don't want Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yeah, you don't. He can play those roles, but Little Miss Sunshine.
No,
was that him?
No,
No, that was not him.
Truman Show or Truman Show is a good ass movie.
The Truman Show is the only serious Jim Carrey role I've ever seen.
Or like
God,
number
it's
23
so
or that TV show that he's in now.
Yeah.
That
Kidding is what it's called, by the way.
What?
Kidding.
The show?
Kidding?
Kidding. Yes.
Kidding. That show's really good too.
I haven't seen that.
I've only seen the first episode, but I was hooked immediately. I was like, "No, this is good. I like this."
I saw a clip from it and I went, Jim Carrey?
It's like a Mr. Rogers, but like if
it's like a dark Mr. Rogers.
like if the person playing Mr. Rogers, like when he was done being Mr. Rogers, wanted to kill himself. Kind of like, so he's trying to be
he's
what is this on?
I think it's Showtime.
It's like darkly optimistic. It's a real surreal kind of thing.
So let me ask that. I mean, you guys did talk about Yakuza and the other one that I forgot.
Jet Set.
Yeah, what?
Jet Set.
Jet Set. Yeah. So what would be the next Sega movie that you want to see if they did a Sega universe, and who would you want to see in it? Because apparently Jim Carrey.
I'm super pumped for a Yakuza movie. I'm super pumped for it. I'm here for that.
So I can't ask you who you want to be in it because I mean you're just gonna start naming Asian actors that you're familiar with.
Well, I mean, obviously it's the perfect movie to get more Asian actors into a big budget film, and I'm not gonna try and list a bunch of them, but I want BD Wong in it, of course.
Yeah,
BD Wong deserves to be in that movie.
Goddamn, Yakuza would be so much fun. Yakuza would be crazy fun.
Yeah, because we're only thinking about us as Americans.
Mm-hmm.
If I had one ask, it'd be BD Wong.
Are there references to Tails and Knuckles in the Sonic movie?
Yes, there are references.
There are.
They explicitly in it?
They are pure references for the most part. No names are said as far as I know.
Okay. But it kind of
there is
for a sequel that would.
There's hella ground for
there's
a sequel.
Yakuza
movie.
It's in Japanese. That's what I was saying. Like from our American perspective, we really probably don't know. But yeah, there's a Japanese Yakuza movie already. But yeah, there are echidnas in the movie, like at the beginning of the movie. And they definitely set it up for a sequel.
Yeah.
One of the end credit scenes they actually showed off in the trailers, the one where it shows Robotnik or Jim Carrey, but he looks more like a Robotnik, where he's got the shaved head and the big mustache.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually an end credit scene.
Yeah.
That's at the very end of the movie.
Yeah. He doesn't look like that for basically none of the movie. He doesn't.
The
look
whole
like
movie, he doesn't look like that. It's at the very end of the movie after it wraps up.
At the end of the movie, he is wearing the red like flight suit, but he doesn't have a shaved head and he doesn't have the wild mustache.
And he doesn't have the more like red nose, but they gave him the more red nose because he's like sunburnt. But yeah, like that doesn't happen until like after the movie. Like everything's been wrapped up and there's been a happy little bow, and then it like cuts to him, and then the trailers play, or the end credits, and then there's a mid roll before the rest of the credits. But I won't spoil that one. But they definitely set it up for like even in interviews and stuff, they were talking about like how they would definitely think that they would like to make a sequel, because I know that 100%. Jim Carrey was like, they have ideas to how to take Eggman to the next evolution of what he's supposed to look like, and how the movie, the mid-roll scene definitely leaves up for, they could totally do a sequel now, which would be really cool. And like it would be cool, like, because they could literally just do like Sonic 3 storyline. Eggman uses Knuckles to get at Sonic.
Right.
Yeah. They could just totally pull that
pull it
as the plot line, because like I said, they introduce echidnas at the beginning of the movie, so they are all in about like that kind of, like there are other Sonic like races.
Mm-hmm.
So if the sequel were going to lean heavily on Sonic lore, that brings me to my next question. Is James Marsden just kind of a disposable thing, as far as this is a human character anchor for this character to join this world? And
he could be, because like the whole theme of the movie is friendship, and friendship is magic, like literally magic.
Friendship literally saves the world.
Yeah, I'm not gonna literally.
All right.
Without giving away too much, yeah, friendship literally saves the world. So like, if they could just throw him away if they wanted to. If like he didn't want to come back, they could.
His role would probably be diminished quite a bit in a sequel, though.
Yeah.
Because obviously they would introduce Tails, and that's actual Sonic's best friend.
And that whole sequel would most likely be about Sonic and Tails.
Yeah.
Trying to work together to fix whatever problem.
Yeah, that's really weird. That, I mean, I can kind of understand.
At most, it'd be James Marsden at the beginning telling Sonic, "It's okay. This is why you're here or something like that.
It's
Like
it's really weird they would
still
do
use
that.
him,
Yeah.
like not like just throw him away, because they probably would not want to
No.
make a completely CGI movie with only Jim Carrey being the only human.
Right.
What, Jim Carrey talking to himself is some of the best movie I've ever seen.
But like they would, I wouldn't like, they could if they wanted to, like if he didn't want to come back, they could like explain it away for him to have another human family to find. But like the movie is centered around him and James Marsden's character and Sonic becoming friends and like becoming a family unit. Because Sonic is looking for a family, and he's looking for something else, and
eventually he finds one with Tails and Amy and Knuckles, and he leaves Earth behind, and they all live happily ever together, and James Marsden gets fired.
but
I was trying to think of more characters, but I can't remember any of the
but they could
names.
like totally get rid of him if they wanted to, if he didn't want to come back, but they probably wouldn't, to like keep up what continuity they tried to be like, this is now his new family, this is who Sonic's family is. If they just went away with it, I mean, they could if they wanted to, but like the movie tries to make you like think that they're friends, but with no spoilers. They don't do a great job of making you like of a good connection. Like they're definitely like, they had bonding moments, but it was never like a friendship can save the world kind of magic. Kind of like it was never, it never felt like that kind of levels of like, oh yeah, they're definitely best friends.
Yeah,
by the end of it.
They're really the only like point in the movie you can point to and be like, this is why they're so close, is because, well, they both almost died several times together, and that kind of trauma, I guess, brings people together when they can share it with each other. So
Brings a lot of blame, if you ask me.
but that's like
I could have had a perfectly normal life until you showed up, you weird ass hell. Why'd you have to connect to me?
All right. So you also saw Birds of Prey.
Yeah, we did.
All right. Thoughts on that one?
the fantabulous emancipation of
one Harley Quinn. Yeah,
Quinn. Harleen Quinzel. Did she use a real name or her
But no, the
street name?
The movie title is
It's Harley Quinn.
of Harley Quinn, but they actually
they
changed it to just Birds of Prey, or
It's Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Which makes better sense for the actual movie, which is it's a Harley Quinn movie, and the Birds of Prey are kind of there.
Yeah.
Which I know is one of the reasons why some people are like upset about the movie, besides the fact that there's always going to be people that just hate DC stuff. But they're like, this movie's trash, action's garbage, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, that's your opinion, man. You can have it.
That's just like your opinion, man.
I thought it was still like, it was fun and colorful.
Yeah.
And
it was a nice attempt to do something with that character.
And like I said, like the way they named the movie definitely was, they were trying to be unique about it because, it's Harley Quinn. But the renamed title makes more sense for the actual movie. It should have been like Harley Quinn and Friends. Because like the Birds of Prey don't actually like Birds of Prey until the end of the movie. Just like, Dr. Robotnik, he doesn't become Eggman until the movie's over.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's fine. It's not really like, I knew going into it before I even like saw it, like from trailers. I don't know why people like, I've read people's comments about like how the trailers were misleading. I didn't get that at all. When I saw the trailers, I'm like, oh, this is a Harley Quinn movie. They just named it weird. But everybody's like, nah, the trailers totally leaned more on the Birds of Prey aspect. I'm like, we were watching similar trailers because
I don't think you were.
Mostly about Harley Quinn.
Yeah. I knew it was a Harley Quinn movie, and I didn't even care that much about it until we went to go see
Margot Robbie is the biggest star on in the movie. Of course, it's about her. But I thought it was good. I liked some of the action sequence. I felt like some of the story was choppy and jumbled at times, and it's kind of funny because
they do it on purpose, almost
on purpose, like tongue in cheek, but in the same way, like they could have been structured better. But it's funny because both movies that we saw that same day referenced Olive Garden.
Oh yeah, they did.
Because Sonic has two very same shameless plugs for Olive Garden and Zillow. Like the Zillow one is very ham-fisted. It's like
They had to get that redesign money somewhere.
yeah, but it was hilarious because it's like I've been looking up
Six.
I was looking up new apartments on Zillow. like enjoy this like the fucking like Wayne's World
it was
scene where he's like a nice Pepsi and like kind of
it was
like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was Transformers level of ad placement.
Like
that is great.
Like
though.
they were told they need to like put this in the script.
Yeah,
like it's not really a spoiler, but the government, as after everything's said and done, the government gives the two human characters a gift certificate to Olive Garden
as thanks for keeping quiet.
And it's like when they open it, it's like here's an Olive Garden like gift card. Like it's very like
like it's one of those things where it feels like it's on purpose, but you're really not sure.
This is worth saving the world for.
Paramount's like, we need more money to fix all of this, and Olive Garden's like,
we got you.
Here's money.
When you're here, your family.
Yep, they say that in the movie.
They make a fucking mob, bro. We got your money, but when you're here, your family.
I'm honestly surprised there wasn't a Starbucks reference for that one scene.
That is great.
Yeah, like both of the movies reference Olive Garden, and it was so weird because when it happened in Harley Quinn, we were like, the fuck? What the hell is going on?
We should have gone to Olive Garden that day.
No, I don't like
breadsticks.
I don't like Olive Garden enough to want to actually go there.
All right, so real quick while we're talking about this, fuck you, Olive Garden, because you got rid of the braised beef and tortellini, so I don't have a reason to come back to you anymore. So I'm glad you got their money, but you're not getting ours.
Yeah, burn those bridges.
Exactly. Fuck that place.
And also both movies do a we should just start our movies where they begin moment.
No, Sonic's does it even better because he's like, yep, that's me. Yeah. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah. But like both of them do that, and it was just weird coincidences that we saw both of these movies and they had similar
in the same day. Yeah.
In the same day had similar structures. So like obviously we noticed, or me, I noticed, I don't know about JT and Eric, but noticed like some of the things I was like, why are these two things why do they have similar?
I think it just might be a coincidence that two campy tongue-in-cheek movies happen to make fun of the same meta thing.
But yeah, both of them referenced Olive Garden, and both of them had wait a minute. You're probably wondering how this got here.
That's pretty hilarious.
It was just weird. I'm like,
I really like the way Sonics did theirs because you could tell it was supposed to be tongue in cheek, but just like everything else about the movie, it was very. I'm so tired of saying this word, but ham-fisted. Because like at the beginning, he literally does the "Yep, that's me." I bet you're wondering how I got here, and then he rewinds to like tell how they got up to that point, and then when they get back to that point, they freeze frame again and be like, all right, glad to have you back now that you're all caught up.
We just want to see that movie this week.
We just start our movies where they begin.
And Harley Quinn literally says that line. I've always told the best way to tell the story is to start it where it begins, and then it shows like a cartoon image of her as a baby.
It actually shows the sperm and egg.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But it's funny that she says that because later on in the movie they do the wait, let me tell you how this part happens, because they like the structure of the movie is one of my problems with the movie. It's very choppy.
Yeah.
They kind of like move from it's perspective a lot, but it's not necessarily like a good transition.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, now this thing is now happening. Oh, we have to explain why this is happening.
Yeah, they did this weird thing. They did this weird thing where like the first half of the movie is supposedly being retold from present Harley Quinn's perspective, like she's telling it to somebody, but it's Harley Quinn, so of course she jumps all over the place with it. And then the last half, after she catches everybody up, is just kind of sort of a straight shot. So it gives you this really weird jumping around thing, and
Like
then
it changes structure.
Yeah.
Like a Tarantino kind of thing where like
But like his are good.
Yeah.
Like he does his for like for like a purpose. These don't feel as like purposeful.
Yeah, because he'll give you like some chops here, and the last third of the movie he'll play like an entire storyline. You're like, oh fuck, this is where this fits in, this like.
But like theirs is like
they're trying to they basically directed the movie.
Yeah, they're basically
Yeah,
throwing it instead of you like kind of like how The Witcher does it, where you're watching 3 different timelines, but like they don't necessarily throw it in your face unless. I'm sorry for the rest of the world who didn't understand that there were 3 different timelines going on in this show. You're fucking stupid. They throw it in your face at the first episode that this are 3 separate timelines. I have no idea how no one really got that.
They literally talk about how there are differences in the times of the like structure of the kingdoms.
And like you could just get it from inference. Why? So that's all. Speaking of The Witcher again, yeah, how many times
they give that detail in the first episode, but it's like episode 5 or 6 when they hit you over the fucking head with it, and it's like very clearly, hey, I met this guy before who's obviously dead now and a prisoner in a different time. Like,
but yeah, for Birds of Prey, it definitely feels like they attempted to direct it in a style that makes it feel like Harley Quinn is telling you this story, but of course she doesn't know how to tell a story.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't work out that way. It works out in feeling like the director had a really avant-garde direction with the storytelling.
Like I get like the idea, like Erica's saying, it's definitely meant for you to like. Harley Quinn is trying to tell you how these events all happen because that's literally how it happens.
It feels like the director's trying to be Quentin Tarantino.
And when a character shows up, she's like, "Oh no, let me tell you.
Tell you about how this character relates to me."
Yeah, let me tell you how this character got to this point in the story. So like obviously they are doing it on purpose, but it just doesn't.
It doesn't play right.
It doesn't always play right.
Doesn't land in the right.
Yeah, it doesn't land completely right. I mean,
which doesn't hurt the film that badly.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt it too badly. It's just. Once the movie finally gets to its climax, it's just finally all here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like the first 2/3 of the movie and then the 1/3 of the end.
It's actually not that long of a movie either.
Yeah, it's only an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So think about that, jumping around for the majority of the movie, and then finally you get the climax.
Does that make that the shortest DC film?
Maybe. I think it's not 2 hours. I think it's like 100. It's an hour and 45 or something like that.
That's crazy.
I think it's exactly an hour 40 actually.
But yeah, both it and Sonic were not very long.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine 90 minutes, or it's not that. I was gonna say 90 minutes of jumping around, and then the last 10 minutes but it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, no, but it kind of does feel like that because I mean the climax and resolution don't feel like it takes that long because the movie's so short.
An hour and 15 minutes though of imbalance is still a pretty big thing for an hour, 100-minute movie. So
like it definitely could have been directed better and written better. I mean, almost every movie can be written better, but it definitely could have been directed better. But it doesn't make it hard to watch necessarily.
I will say something that helped, like if it was a different movie atmosphere, it probably would have been a little different. But for that one, there were a little more jokesters in our crowd when we saw it. So they weren't like saying jokes or whatever, but like, how not every movie experience. Sometimes you can go see a movie and maybe not everyone is liking it. This theater everyone seemed to be enjoying their time in the movie. Because like some jokes that didn't quite land, people still found them funny in the movie that we saw. Yeah. And like it kind of made me chuckle hearing them laugh. I'm like, that wasn't as funny as they think it is. But I mean, I get it. It's funny. But like there were attempts at jokes that actually landed fairly well and some that didn't. But I mean, that's any movie. But definitely, it's rated R, so there's a decent amount of like cussing and blood and gore. Surprisingly,
I will say
there is one very uncomfortable scene in that movie. Like, but it's to like show you how fucking twisted Sionis is.
Yeah, it's oh my god.
It's not like, oh, I'm gonna walk out of the movie, but like when it's happening, it just happens. So it's not like
it just kind of hits you, and it's not even like the scene's not handled poorly. It just kind of happens,
and it's not even like it doesn't get that graphic, but it's just like, whoa, he's a monster.
Yeah.
You said you didn't care as much about. It's not really. He basically forces
just a random
girl at his club to strip in front of him and dance on the table.
Hands a knife to a guy and tells him to cut the dress off of her.
And she's like, "Please don't do this." And he's like, "What do I do?" And he's like, "Do it now." And he like is ripping, like forcing the dress off of her, and she's just like. I
just want to say,
trying to, like,
oh wow, that's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I just want everybody in the audience was like, "What the fuck?"
I just want to say that Sionis is portrayed by Ewan McGregor. So seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi yell for someone to cut a dress off a lady while she's dancing on a table is quite disturbing.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. Big Fish is my favorite movie. And I don't know if I can watch this and have it ruin Big Fish for me.
Just so you know, the scene just kind of happens. Like there's no build up to it at all. Like they really try to play up like how like paranoid and erratic this dude is.
Yeah, because like how it kicks off is he just basically, I think he just loses a deal, like doesn't go through for him, and she's laughing. And so he's
at somebody's joke, not even at him.
At him, not at him, at just a joke. The guy that gets forced to cut her dress off, at his joke, because he like turns to Zaz and like, what the fuck's she laughing at? She laughing at me? And then like he gets up and he walks over there and he's like, the fuck you laughing at? And she's like, oh my God, this is a joke. You have to hear and like get on the table right now. And she's like, what? And everybody in the whole club gets quiet and like, get on the fucking table right now. And it just gets real intense real quick. Cause most of the movie has been fairly like light, even when he's like torturing someone, he kills a family. It's kind of played off in a funny way.
That scene isn't even really that hard to watch.
Yeah, he skins 3 of their faces because it's Black Mass. He likes doing stuff like that. And he takes their faces off, or he has Zaz do it because he doesn't like getting himself dirty because it's Black Mass. That's how he is. But and then he's gonna let the third girl go, and she's slobbering, crying. And she gets snot on his hand, and he's like, "Ooh, is that a snot bubble? Gross! I changed my mind. You can kill her." And he just like walks off. But it's like it's funny.
Yeah,
like, it comes off as a joke. But this does not.
Yeah, there's no jokes.
There's no joke about this. Like that one, he's like, laughing and like joking, and the music's a little more like.
Yeah, if you hadn't noticed how neurotic he was at that point, you're gonna know now.
Yeah, like the music's a little more light right there. For that scene, it's not like super intense. But for the club scene, like the music and everything just cuts out, and it's just like
dead.
It's just his voice going, "Do it, do this now," and it's fucking weird. And then he just ends it and goes, and then this is a joke. Like and then
it's a good scene. It just feels
very uncomfortable. But it's like all right. It's not like in like a bad but like it definitely shows you how
like I appreciate the scene because it really does show you like how paranoid and erratic and neurotic this guy is.
Yeah, Sionis is fucking crazy, and it just definitely, if you didn't get it now. If you didn't get it until then, you got it now. Like he is a fucked up person. And you shouldn't mess with him.
I think the contradiction of the other scene, the face skinning scene, where the like you were saying, like the music's light, he's acting cheery and happy about it and everything. I think that's a really good description of him. Like he's happy and cheerful and positive, doing these really violent things. but when he's not, he's paranoid and neurotic and erratic and violent.
Right.
And he did a really good job of playing Black Mass.
Yeah.
I enjoyed his portrayal of Roman Sionis, because Sionis is not a hard character to do, but he's very he's more intense than some of the other mob bosses. Some of the other mob bosses are just like, I'm basically the Godfather, but this isn't a DC comic book. Sionis is fucking insane.
Yeah.
He's like one of the regular like rogue gallery level of insanity, but he's just a normal ass dude.
Yeah.
He's not like the Joker where like the Joker's a normal ass dude, but he's like 3 of them at but like the Joker has extra stuff about him. He is just a man, but he's also basically an agent of chaos, where Sionis is literally just a rich dude.
Yeah, he's a dude who has an infinite amount of money.
He's basically an infinite amount of money. And like, where Penguin has his gimmick of, but
being a fucking mutant.
I use Penguin based weaponry, and I'm still rich, but Sionis is just a regular ass fucking dude who
just a regular ass dude with one hell of a dissociative disorder.
Which is why I like that they chose Victor to be Victor Zsasz as his like second in command, and the guy that they chose however the way that they wrote Zsasz, definitely he does a really good job of being a fucking psychopath.
Zsasz is a fucking trip in some scenes, man.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know much about Victor Zsasz. He's one of Batman's villains, and he's basically just a serial killer. That's all he is. And each time he kills someone, he cuts himself to tally another kill.
The scene when he's explaining that, oh my god, that's the second most uncomfortable scene in the entire movie.
And he's like, yeah, I got a special one right here.
Just like the way he like there's nothing really uncomfortable about the scene. It's just the way. I don't even know the actor who plays him. I don't even know his name.
His face looks so familiar.
He looks familiar, but I don't know who the hell he is.
I can't remember like who his name and
but like
stuff.
just like the way he plays the character throughout the movie. When he gets to that point, it's like his first really like serious scene when he's talking to one of the birds of prey. He's explaining like his motive or whatever you want to call it, like his lifestyle or whatever.
It's right after he drugs Harley.
Yeah.
And he's about to kill her.
Yeah. And he's like explaining he's got a scar for each one. It's just like the way he plays the character in that scene is just like, I don't really want to look at him.
Yeah, he does a good job of being like, he's very like even in the comics and stuff, Zsasz is like a modern day
Jack the Ripper.
He normally goes after females, and they definitely like drove home the point that he's like that toxic masculine kind of like women are just objects to me. His mommy didn't love him enough or something to turn him this way. But he
probably got rejected by his high school crush.
But he has that like hatred towards women, and like whenever he's on scene with one of the other girls, he spends a lot of time with not a lot interacting with either Harley or Black Canary, and like the way he talks to them and acts around them is very much like, you're beneath me and I just can't wait to get a chance to put my knife into you. And he's very unsettling sometimes, and it works.
Yeah,
it works because that's how
some of the best scenes were with him and Diane.
But yeah, like he does a good job of coming off as a fucking psycho killer.
Kiss.
But yeah, it was a good movie. Like, I enjoyed my time. It had its it had its weird moments and stuff like that. And
I think
Elizabeth Winstead, the Ramona from
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
That's why she looks familiar.
Yeah, she's also married to Ewan. They cheated on.
Whoops.
He cheated on his spouse with her, and
that's why she looks familiar.
Is that real life?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. When they were doing Fargo, they were playing a couple, and I guess it's just a thing that happens in Hollywood when you spend enough time with your on screen.
Sometimes when you're acting intimate, it turns into actual intimacy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but they're like actually together in real life. But
now I know why she looks familiar that entire movie.
Yeah, but she plays the Huntress, and the Huntress is normally fairly a serious character. And
oh my god, she was my favorite character.
They make her serious, but they don't take her serious at all, and it's pretty hilarious sometimes.
Well, like it's great because like the way they set her character up, it's like the Huntress on her first hunt. I guess, in a way to say it. So like she takes herself very seriously. Like she's Batman levels of serious. But nobody else can take her seriously.
Yeah. It's like what didn't happen to like what you don't see with Batman in his first year. Like most people took Batman serious his first year because I mean he's a master of the shadows and stuff like that. And he uses other techniques. But the Huntress is also trained to a similar level. She's an assassin. But yeah, like none of them, no one really takes her serious. And it comes off funny sometimes. Just like, this wasn't, like, she's not trying to be funny, but what she says is funny. What happens to her is funny.
Oh, man.
But yeah, like, I like the Huntress's character. I felt like they didn't use Montoya as much as they could. She kind of felt,
yeah,
it was weird.
It definitely felt like a character they didn't know how to write.
Yeah, I mean, because she used a staple of the Birds of Prey as Huntress and Black Canary. I did like Black Canary as well.
Yeah, it's funny because like when you asked if I wanted to go see Birds of Prey, you remember I said, I don't know, I don't feel either one way or the other about it. Like, I obviously I knew that Black Canary was in it, and I knew that Harley Quinn was in it. I didn't know about Huntress or Montoya, but as soon as I saw Huntress, I knew she was the Huntress. Like as soon as she came out, I'm like, that's got to be the Huntress, because I don't know anything about the Birds of Prey either. But as soon as I saw her, I'm like, that's obviously the Huntress. There's no one else that could be. That's got to be the Huntress. Right. And it took most of the movie before they ever actually say her fucking name.
It's pretty funny, like how they set it up. Like she never actually really gets to say her name.
Yeah, everyone interrupts her and just calls her the crossbow killer.
Yeah.
I'm not the crossbow killer.
I'm not the crossbow killer. But yeah, it's kind of funny how they like she's like, I'm a serious person.
Yeah.
Take me, like there's even a scene where she's in the mirror trying to like psych herself up, like, you know, trying to get her like brood face on.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? And it always cuts back to her going, you know who I am, and getting interrupted so she can't say like.
But like, so like I knew the Huntress was the Huntress as soon as I saw her. I still don't know who the fuck Montoya is.
She's a detective in the CPD.
I mean, I wouldn't know what to do with that character either, to be honest.
Fast and loose on the edge.
Yeah, like,
no one
so
takes her serious.
Yeah, like, the whole time I was like, I mean, I'm sure she's from the actual comic books that these characters come from. Okay, that's what I figured, but like, it just feels like she's just kind of like a throwaway character they put in there because they needed a fourth girl.
Yeah. But yeah, so overall, I thought both movies were pretty fun. Mm-hmm. Like obviously everything has its flaws, but I'm not, bashing them as much as everybody else.
They were both worth the money spent.
Yeah. Cool. I enjoyed both movies probably equally.
Yeah, I'd say equally. Both of them coming from my perspective, where I was honestly just hoping Sonic would be enjoyable and not really caring one way or the other about Birds of Prey. Not because I don't like DC movies or anything. It's just
you didn't know much about it.
I didn't know much about it. And like Harley Quinn's a cool character, but I don't necessarily care about her that much as her own character, which is actually a theme of the movie.
Same boat.
So like I was like when he asked me, I was like, I don't really. I'll go watch Sonic because I want to give them my money for Sonic. Like I 100% want them to turn a profit on that movie. But I think I'll skip Birds of Prey. I'll drive myself and just go home after that. And then Josh was like, "Well, I actually owe you some money, so I'll pay for the ticket." Okay.
See, I'm pretty much in the same place. I want to go see Sonic while it's in theaters. I want to take my kids.
Yes, give them even like I actually told somebody, like, even if you don't want to watch it, buy a ticket and just don't go.
Yeah, I do want to go see that while it's in theaters. And Birds of Prey I'll probably catch when it comes out on Blu-ray or something, or digital.
Yeah,
I'll wait.
They were both for me. They were both. Well, I guess Birds of Prey was surprisingly good, and Sonic was satisfying. I'm really glad it was as good as I was hoping it would be. Which isn't saying that it was like a blockbuster or anything.
Yeah,
but
because I was hoping, like, I was optimistic, or I wanted to be optimistic towards Birds of Prey, because most of the standalone-ish movies that DC has been putting out since, Justice League, everything after Justice League has been pretty good. Like, Aquaman may have been campy as hell, but it was still a fun ride. Wonder Woman, Shazam. So I was like, this has got to be.
I still need to see Shazam.
This has got to be decent, right?
Shazam's good.
This has to be good. Like, I mean, they're doing pretty good with their rate, how they're going. And
if they could just make every movie on par with Wonder Woman, they'd be killing it.
The Joker, technically, it's not part of that universe, but the Joker is still a DC movie. And
yeah,
that's still a good movie too.
Yeah, it was good.
Joaquin,
It was okay.
Joaquin won an Oscar, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'll say that. Like, I didn't dislike it. I've got my feelings about the Joker. We'll leave that for another day.
And then so I was hoping, Harley Quinn would be pretty cool, and she's literally the best and only thing that was good about Suicide Squad. So
I liked Will Smith's Deadshot.
He was all right. But I was hoping if they could just capture her and give her her own movie, it'll be good. And I was pleasantly surprised.
Cool. I'm glad to hear that. I'm like I said, I'll check it out when it comes out on Blu-ray or digital, and I'm slightly less inclined to do that with the awkward sexual harassment scene, but I'll still give it a chance.
I mean, it's a good scene.
Yeah.
It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Well, with that being ran through, I guess we'll get ready to close up for the week. I do like this movie conversation thing. We will, try to reel that in going forward. Of course, it was the topic for this week.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
Literally just pulled this out of our ass.
Yeah. Literally just pulled this out. And it was a fresh thing to talk about. So there's that. So check us out on the Discord for the Roommates Gaming Movie Club that we're going to have going up. Jump in there and just talk to us about everything. We got several channels full of lovely people that like to talk about things, and that's great. Again, next Monday, check us out for Property Dads 2, because that's a lot of fun. But real quick, before we sign off, we want to let you know that we're taking next week off from Hard at Play. Forgot to mention that earlier. We won't be putting one up next week, and that's because we're moving sets. We're going to be leaving this area and going to another area.
Loan finally came through on that office, so
no, it didn't.
So we'll be setting up a different location for filming. So to give us a little bit of comfort time to get this torn down, that set up, we're going to be taking the week off and putting these back on equal number playing fields. So with that being said, we'll see you in 2 weeks for another sausage tray. Again, by week next week. Don't at us for Hard at Play.
I mean, if you want to add us for suggestions,
add us for anything else. Yeah. Don't add us for Hard at Play. You get like a webcam video, like, what's up, guys? So I do appreciate you guys coming and doing this with us. It's always fun.
Yep.
I look forward to doing this again.
Don't forget the movie that you need to watch is 12 Monkeys.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
12 Monkeys, 1995.
12 Monkeys, obviously all that'll be in the
12 Monkeys for 1995. That's a hell of a deal.
That's a hell of a deal, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But don't forget to, discuss that in the Discord. All the information and stuff will be on our channel. But just another reminder, 12 Monkeys.
Yep.
We'll put that up in our Discord.
Yep. And, of course, smash that like button, subscribe, and comment, and all
share,
that, all that stuff. That
bell icon.
We don't normally do. Yeah, we don't normally say that shit. All right.
I mean, how long has YouTube been running that they should know to do that stuff?
They should know to do it. But see, this is what we do. Like, we're at an hour and 10 minutes. And we're putting this on the tail end. People stopped caring like 8 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So they're not.
They've droned us out until we're like,
Yeah, if it isn't in the first 30 seconds of the video, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, see, that's what
actually YouTube recommends you put it in the middle of the video.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, Anchor does the same thing. Like when they talk about sponsorships and stuff like that, which obviously we don't do.
Yeah,
but,
you do sponsors in the middle of your.
Yeah, that they say do it at the beginning or do it in the middle. You get paid more for the middle. That's my understanding. Like,
well, because the whole point is for retention.
Yeah.
So you want them to go through the whole thing, and it's a whole deal.
Yeah. So now that we told you how YouTube works, thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Thank myself.
Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hosting us.
Thank you for joining Hard at Play. Actually, no. Thank you for joining Sausage Train.
Hang on a minute.
Hang on.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a good week.
If you're now seeing this video, it's because I'm no longer on this earth. There's a few things I need to tell you as I leave you. I need you to subscribe to our channel. I need you to like this video. And I need you to check out some of these videos. I'm sorry I couldn't stick around to see our child, but tell them I love them.